Hello everyone! This is the first videos on my channels! Yay! And because it's the first videos, I was debating on what topic I should address. So I decided, why not just make videos about the very first beginning of my country, Vietnam. A fitting start. Therefore, today I'm going to present to you the Vietnamese creation myth. For my international viewers, you may or may not be more familiar with the Japanese belief that they are the descendant of the sun god Nippon. Well, in Vietnam, we also have a similar belief that derived from a very specific myth that basically tell us that we are the children of dragon and descendant of God, which coined the national phrase con rồng cháu tiên. It's a pretty awesome name. Yes, I know. For this video content, I will choose the safe route and tell you the story I've learned from my primary school textbook. However, there are many variations of this myth, as one may expect from thousands of years of story. Therefore, the story I'm about to tell you may not be the one you know, and that is okay. That's actually better than okay. That means that both you and I get to learn something new today. So let's get started. Our protagonists are Olga and Lạc Long Quân. According to one variation of the myth, Olga was the daughter of the king Đế Lai, and her family can actually trace their lineage back to Thần Nông, the legendary god of agriculture, which in Asian culture is one of the most important gods. She lived on the high mountain and was extremely skillful in herbal medicine, which at that time was the only medicine available. Be glad she lived in the 21st century. One more thing you need to know about Olga is that she was incredibly beautiful and she loved traveling. Where have I seen that before? One day, when she was traveling down the plain where there are many wonderful and beautiful sights, to collect some new species of flowers, she met the love of her life, a handsome young man by the name Lạc Long Quân. Little did she know, though, that Lạc Long Quân was actually a dragon god, lived at the bottom of the sea. Which is matter because we're Asian and that's cool. He has a dragon body, incredible strength, and have the magic ability to transform his appearance. Hence, the handsome young man Olga met when she first saw him. And because they were just so beautiful, they instantly fell in love the moment they set their eyes on each other's. Fine. Lạc Long Quân and Olga later got married and lived together at Long Giang Palace. Some time passed, and Olga was now pregnant with their first, child. This is where things get a little bit weird, so be prepared. When the day came, Olga gave birth not to a child, but a sack with 100 eggs inside. I know. Don't think just yet. It will get better, I promise. The egg later hatched into 100 children, and these children were described to be just as beautiful and strong like their godly parents. Now, following the folktale structure, our story should have ended here. And it would be a nice happy ending for everybody. I mean, it would make sense, right? Since I told you that this video was about the myth of the first group of Vietnamese ever to exist. And we certainly know how they came from. The egg sack with 100 egg and stuff like that. So this should really be the end. But no. For some reason, and we'll get to that later, after spending some years together, Lạc Long Quân one day gathered Olga and all of their children together and says, "Hey baby, I really miss my mom. And I don't want to live together with you anymore, so I'm just gonna go home. I do kind of feel bad about it, so I'll take 50 children with me and you take care of the rest, okay? If you ever need me, just burn a big fire. Bye-bye." Okay, he didn't actually say that. What he says was, "I live at the deep sea. Your life belongs on the mountaintop. Water and fire cannot mix. I cannot live here forever with you. I must return home. I will take 50 children back to the sea with me. You can take 50 children and raise them on the plateau. If you ever run into any difficulty, just burn a big fire and I will come immediately. So it's basically a divorce. It's a pre-legal system divorce. That's all there is to it. And Olga agreed. I guess she was just as tired of this marriage as he was. So the couple separate. Olga took 50 children to live on the high mountain, and Lạc Long Quân took 50 children and taught them how to live off the sea. The firstborn later became the first king of Vietnam, who took the title Hùng Vương and ruled over his motherland and his father seas. We also built a lot of temples dedicated to him, so he was a big deal, and I'm pretty sure there will be videos about him in the future, so look out for that. So there you have it, folks. That is the myth of the first group of Vietnamese to ever exist. You may also know that other than to explain the origin of Vietnamese people, the story is actually used to explain the many occupations ancient Vietnamese engage in. If you look at our country map, you can see that Vietnamese not only have plentiful plain and plateau, but we also have a long coastline, meaning planting and fishing was the main livelihood for many people for thousands of years. Therefore, for modern viewers, you may find Lạc Long Quân action pretty weird and random, and I think we can all agree that it's just not cool to suddenly ask your wife to live all by herself with 50 kids. Like asking for a divorce when his wife did nothing wrong and took half of their kid with him. Well, actually, that's fine. He took responsibility and agreed to come whenever his wife need him, so I guess he was not that bad. He was just not good either. I guess the advice here is just that love on first sight can be very unreliable, and marrying your love on first sight is just not a great idea. However, nobody actually criticized Lạc Long Quân for his action, even now. When I was learning this story in primary school, my teacher actually defended Lạc Long Quân actions, saying that it was necessary for him to do so, because his action makes sense in ancient time. As parents, the two has a duty to teach their kid how to make the most of their geographical advantages, like relying on the mountain for hunting, gathering, and planting, and living off the seas by fishing, mining, and diving to collect precious products. Only then can they ensure a long, prosperous life for their children and keep their present in the course of history. And that they certainly did. There are also many other explanation for the separations. Like there's one about the yin and the yang and the 5 elements of nature of why the two cannot be together. There were also other one that says Olga was too feminine and Lạc Long Quân was just so masculine and the two cannot mix well because of this fundamental differences. Yeah, no. We're not gonna get into that since first, I don't understand any of it. And second, I really don't understand it. And yeah, there you have it. The story of how we, the modern Vietnamese, says that we are the children of dragon from Lạc Long Quân side of the families and descendant of God from Olga side of the families. We are con rồng cháu tí.